Well, welcome, everyone. My name is Brent Hoskins. I serve as Executive Director of the Business Technology Association. It's great to have you today. We've been doing these BTA 101 calls for the last couple of years, maybe 2 or 3 years. And the idea, of course, is to provide our members a little bit more insight into the value of their membership and the benefits that we offer. We have found or had found through the years that a lot of people have been members for a long time and maybe took advantage of, 2 or 3 different member benefits, but not all of them or not many of them. We don't really believe that everybody would take advantage of every membership program that we have, but we've got like 40 or so. And so we just wanted to give you a little bit more familiarity with what we offer. The staff is small for BTA. We've got five employees, and collectively, we've worked for the association more than 90 years. And so I say that to say that we know a lot of people. We know a lot about the industry without ever actually having been in the industry other than with the association. I say that, and I think Brian early on in his career was selling copiers, right? So a number of
Yeah.
years ago. But I've been here close to 4 decades now, and so it's been all my adult life, and have enjoyed this industry and becoming very familiar with it. And I write about it as well. You may or may not know I also serve as editor of BTA's Office Technology magazine. Been doing that since 1989. So what we're going to do today is we're going to walk you through the website, and Brian's going to kind of narrate along the way and kind of show you a few things. We won't be able to cover everything, but I'm going to interrupt a couple of times and give him a little break and share a few thoughts, and we'll try to keep it to exactly 30 minutes. So with that, Brian, let's get started. I'll turn it over to you.
Thanks, Brent. Appreciate you all joining us this afternoon, taking a few minutes out of your busy schedule. Everybody can see my screen, I take it. So let's kind of get going. The first thing you want to do is go to bta.org up here. And then if you don't have a login, go to this login button and this window pops open. And you could put your information in here or you can create one. And when you create one, it's just pretty simple. Put your name in there and you sign in, and I've already got all that. So that's where you just create the information, and that'll take you to what we call the info hub. And I am currently signed in as Deborah Dennis. She is the BTA current president. And I'm signing in under her name because she is the primary of CopyPro. And I'll bring the primary up basically because you get some of the information here by going to my info. This is kind of like the background for your company. And Deborah is the primary for this company. So if you want to know if you're the primary, you would sign in, come to this, and go to related contacts. And if you have add contact and all these pencils over here on the side, you are the primary of your company. And so you could add or delete any of these people. So that's one thing to know about. And then you've got your business information here, so like number of locations, number of employees, when the business was established, annual revenue, the brands that you carry, the products that you carry. So there's a lot of good information, and you can update that as well going forward. So that's one place. And then you can find your billing information and some other information there as well. We are developing some of these forum and other products here. So those aren't really active right now, but the member directory is. So once you sign in, you can come here to the member directory. And if you're trying to find somebody that in a certain city, or let's just go with the brands carried, and you can come down here and pick Epson and just go done. And what it'll do is pop up all the BTA members that carry Epson. And you can click on one of these, and that'll give you the pertinent information to contact that individual that does Epson. So you can do Epson, you can do a host of any brands that you carry. So you can go through there and try to find a member or a company that is carrying your brand as well. So the member directory is a good source. And then all you need to do is come down here to the BTA homepage. And what that does is take you to the BTA website, or the bta.org. And from here, basically, you've got some information on our homepage. Got the hotline down here. You got upcoming events that are available to you. And then there's a scroll here that has upcoming events that are available to you as well. I'm going to start under the About Us tab. And this kind of gives you some information about BTA, the history. We've got testimonials. We've got past presidents. We've got video archives. We got photo archives. So there's a host of information under the About Us tab. And then also, this will show you the National Board of Directors. There's Deborah Dennis. There's Mike Boyle. He's the president-elect. And I point these people out because they are all volunteers or business owners like yourself, and they are all volunteers for the BTA. And what you can do is utilize this as a networking capability. So if you've got a question about BTA, you could contact Adam Gregory and say, "Hey, Adam, I got a question," or Deborah Dennis. So that's the national board, and then we also have district officers. So we've got 4 districts. There's a West, a Mid-America, a Southeast, and an East. And wherever you're at, if you just click on that, that'll pop up some Mid-America officers. And once again, this is a great opportunity for you to network with any of these, or if you know any of them, or in your district per se, you can just contact these individuals as well. So there's a host of information for those individuals. And then there's the BTA headquarters staff. So if you need to get a hold of any of us, you can contact Brent, Valerie, Elizabeth Marvel, myself, and Brooke Barker. She's the new admin person for BTA. What I'd like to do is kind of start. Oh, and by the way, if you want to rewatch this video, this is where this call will be posted. The 101 call. It's underneath membership and BTA 101 dealer member orientation. So we will post this call afterwards. The best place to start for BTA is this benefits button right here. Now you've got the drop down menu, so you can attach or you can go directly to any one of these services here in the drop down menu, but they're all there. And I'll start with the BTA legal services with Greg Goldberg. Depending upon how many of you have been in the industry for a long, long time, Bob Goldberg used to be the BTA legal counsel, and his son Greg Goldberg has taken over a couple years ago. So Greg can help with a lot of issues that pertain to your business. It's unlimited advice and consultation over the phone. Here's his contact information so you can get a hold of him. And then there's a host of information here, and I'd like to point out the legal documents. So you can come here, click on legal documents. This is kind of like this shows you some of the documents in there. You click on this, and naturally you need to be logged in to access these sample documents. But they're all Word documents, and what you do is you just open that up, kind of wait till your hamsters get moving, and it'll pop open. There you go. And so there's a host of documents. You got data cleansing documents, dealer association, equipment documents, insurance, managed print, managed services, maintenance agreements. So there's a host of information here, and you just cut and paste and customize it to your dealership. And if you have a question about any one of these documents, you just give Greg a call or email him. And what he won't do, I guess the general idea is Greg will help you as long as it affects the industry as a whole, in essence. So you can't take your landlord agreement and send it to Greg and say, "Hey, is this a good landlord agreement?" Because it just affects you. Now you can take your Sharp dealer manufacturer agreement and call up Greg and say, "Hey, do you have a dealer manufacturer agreement for Sharp?" Or talk to him about that type of thing, because it affects more than just you individually. Any quick questions about the legal? Okay. So then the next one here, we just have a host of business support services. The first one there, Ask the Analyst, is put on by Keypoint Intelligence. You can just click on that button. The window opens up, and you can ask a question to them. Anything in the industry, and there's questions that have been previously asked, and the answers are right here. So you can kind of do a little reading and do a little research yourself, but you can contact them directly. There's Zoom Info, that's a telemarketing firm. There's Grant, there's Dealer Helping Dealers. So there's a host of business support services right there. And then just moving down to the channel trends and research, there's the Business Equipment Quota Index, which is a product that can help you identify the potential of your given territory. So if you have two sales reps and one of them's doing very well and the other one isn't doing very well, you would get this. And as a member, it's virtually free because it costs $150, but you get promo codes with your membership. So that basically is free for the state that you need. And there's just a lot of information in there, and it can help you identify all the way down to the zip code as to what the potential of a given territory is. And that way you can freely or more equitably, I guess, open up the territory for all individuals. And here you can find the Office Technology Magazine as well, where you can read it online if you'd like, or get past BTA OT issues as well. So you can come in here and get the information for that as well. Let's see here. Then kind of the Dealer Helping Dealers discussion group. I'm going to come back to that. Let's just go to the education first. Here is our education list, and we have a great lineup for education. We got a service academy, we got troubleshooting, we got building my business webinars, which are free to the membership. And what they do is that we have those to help with different information throughout the industry. So the building my business webinar and the diversifying my business webinar. And we've got a couple of those coming up. Now, the difference between the two is diversifying my business is more of an infomercial. So this individual, Mark Spring, is going to talk about Evolved Office. But if you went to a different or a BMB webinar, let's see here, we go to the BMB webinar. This is going to be about the power of fractional CFO. So this is going to tell you, do you want a part-time CFO in your business? So this is more about your business. The diversifying is more about their business and trying to educate you on the other vendors that are out in the world there. So the education classes are good. We've got certification classes. And then let's start with the BTA scholarship. BTA has a scholarship, and since I think it was 1984-85 school year, which is we were doing this prior to that, and this is when the record started. So we've given away over 1,600 scholarships, dating almost $1.9 million. And I know Brent signs all these checks, and he'd like to say a couple words about the scholarship as well.
So, it's a member benefit that people don't always know about because it's kind of in the background, and we do make a kind of a big deal about it, particularly once a year when the scholarship applications are due to us. That's May 1 of every year. But, 1.9 million, I can tell you that the school year that we're in, 2025-26, we gave away 40 scholarships totaling $84,500. So quite a bit of money. The biggest scholarship was $10,000. The smallest was $1,500. We actually have an independent evaluator at a 4-year college here in Kansas City that we turn over all the applications to, and he evaluates them, assesses them, and ranks them so that we know who to award them to. We're not involved with the process at all. Something he just does on a regular basis and does a good job for us and has done it for many years. What Brian's showing you on the screen there is something that you can come to the BTA website. You could print out and put in your break room, some common area where your employees see it. Because this is a member benefit that's not only for you as the senior management or the owner of the company, but for any employee in the dealership. And I know that every year when you look at those photos down there, for example, those are just some examples, but oftentimes those photos are the owner of the company or senior management, and then, a service tech or an admin person, salesperson, whatever, and their son or daughter receiving a BTA scholarship. So it's a great member benefit. There is an application process. The applications are due May 1. At some point in December, I don't think they're quite there yet, but some point in the December, we will be posting the 26, 27. Is it there to contribute? No. Okay. I know you can contribute at any time, and we rely on that to make this continue to work. But as far as the application, it'll be available in December. So watch for that and know that the deadline for submission is May 1. But it's a great member benefit. And again, it's just for everybody in your dealership. And we're always happy to. Brian said, I always like signing those checks. Yeah, it's nice to be able to send checks and a letter, congratulatory letter to those member dealers, sons and daughters who've received, the benefit of the scholarships from the association. So thank you, Brian.
All right. And if you need some more information or you contact Brooke Barker, here's her email and her phone number. And also, if you'd like to, donate or contribute to the BTA scholarship, you can do that here as well. And here is the list of the scholarships that are available. So there's some pretty good, loose coin that some of these kids can get. So it's great, and the kids are happy about it. So it's a wonderful benefit as well. And then I kind of the peer groups. There's two BTA peer groups, and one is the pro dealer group, one is the select dealer group. Now, these are protected territory groups. So they're peer groups where you would just join the peer group, and it's additional to your BTA membership, but they meet in a physical meeting 2 to 3 times a year. And there's an extra cost to this above and beyond your BTA membership. So if you're in one of these areas where there's a pin, there's likely not going to be a spot available for you in that group. And if you can't get into the select dealer group, Brent here coordinates the pro dealer group. And it's the same concept as well. It's protected territory. And you can meet with everybody and you discuss best practices. And we've been doing this. This kind of came out of the COVID era that we started trying to figure out a way to meet when nobody was traveling. So the dealer helping dealer discussion groups were born. And well, I kind of jumped over it, but
Yeah.
the peer groups are Brent handles this one, and he likes to say a couple
Well, I
words
could I
about
could
it.
mention, yeah, I mean, I serve as a staff liaison, is what we're calling it for the pro dealer group, and Valerie Briseno works with a select dealer group. She's actually at a select dealer group meeting this week in Nashville. And BTA Pro Dealer Group is going to have a meeting coming up in Las Vegas in a few weeks, so I'll be at that one. But the beauty of it is these are non-competing dealers, as Brian has emphasized, but they know each other very well because of their participation in the group, in contact with one another regularly. And one of the things that's a great benefit that you might be interested in, there's a Strategic Business Associates, which is John Hay and Todd Johnson, work with all or both of these groups. Every year they do an annual financial survey so that each member dealership in the group says, well, here's my financials as compared to the benchmarks taught in Pro Finance against the aggregate of everybody else in the group. So nobody sees one another's numbers, but they do see how they can compare to the rest of the group. And then, there's an annual meeting. One of the annual meetings, Todd Johnson walks through that line by line and all the details, and that helps them to better understand where their strengths and weaknesses are. I know in the pro dealer group, sometimes we'll have a panel discussion where we'll find that 2 or 3 dealers have done particularly well with some metric in their business, and we've asked if they'd be willing to kind of share some of what they've done to help them achieve that level of success. So, and the other 2 groups they work with are, many of them are BTA members, but they're not required to be BTA members, and that's BPCA. You may have heard of that, and CDA, the Copier Dealers Association. And I share that to say that when Todd Johnson, John Hay are talking about the financial results of the survey, they can also show the universe of the dealers that they they follow that have responded to their financial surveys. So it's 4 groups, a lot of dealerships, and many millions of dollars in revenue. So it's pretty interesting. I've sat in it for many, many years. And it's just, if that's of interest to you, reach out to me or Valerie Bersano, and we could get you, the information that you need. Let me mention this. Brian mentioned dealers helping dealers. Yes, that did come out of the COVID era because of, May of 2020, everybody's like, what do we do now, right? And so I had this idea of, leveraging the technology that we all now take for granted, but it was kind of new for us. Today we're using Zoom, but we also use Teams, and these groups get together. They are very similar to the Pro Dealer Group, Select Dealer Group, although they don't meet in person. They only meet via calls like this. And what that allows them to do is when they register for the call, we ask a simple question. What topics or questions would you like the group to address in today's call or the call coming up? And we always have ample number of questions. We always get great dialogue going. We've got 5 groups. 3 of them are for owners and senior management. The reason we have 3 is so we can kind of accommodate non-competing dealers. We also have one for sales management. I said 5 groups. We have 6 groups. Then we also have service management. So if you think this would be a good fit for your sales manager or service manager, we've got calls for them as well. And then we've got one actually that's relatively new, and we've got it coming up today. That's about their 5th call, and it's the eAutomate Elevate BTA Dealers Helping Dealers discussion group. So this is power users of eAutomate, or sometimes they're admin folks, sometimes they're the owners, whatever. We've got 36 people registered to be on the call coming up at the very top of the hour this afternoon. So that may be something you want to consider doing. You might not be able to make it today's call. If you want to, you can register online for that. But otherwise, maybe this is something you could consider for one of our future calls. So it's free. It's part of membership. It's for you. So, if this is of interest to you, just email me at brent@bta.org, and I'll give you some information on kind of help you figure out which group might be right for you in terms of, non-competing dealers. So, anyway, Brian, saw it on your screen, kind of jumped ahead there, and
Yeah.
let you
Well,
go.
I kind of jumped the track myself, but and like I think Brent mentioned, the I don't know, huge difference, but the Dealer Helping Dealer is free to the member, so there's no additional charges, and you're still going to be in a protected group, so that you won't be in the same group as the guy down the street, and that you can discuss freely best practices and that type of thing without fear of that.
That's
Um,
true with all groups, but the eAutomate, frankly, in that
right.
case, because we're really just talking about the use of software and the product and helping each other with best practices, and not really necessarily talking about their dealership. So we don't distinguish whether they're competitors or not in that group.
Okay. And then we've also, it's the Dealer Helping Dealer is kind of a three-legged stool. So there's the question and answers as well. And then this was the section when it first started, it was all about COVID-19 and how to get your PPP money and everything else like that. And then you've got this where just normal questions are sent into to BTA, and they're sent out to the dealer community as a whole. And so the questions are listed here. They're kind of categorized at some level here, and just click on it and you'll get all the answers. And one of these questions is usually placed into the monthly Office Technology magazine as well. So that take a look for that. And if you've got any questions that you'd like for the dealership as a whole to answer, just submit one to Brent again. If you want to, just simply submit this with the subject line of Dealer Helping Dealers. And so then and ask the question, and Brent will send it out to the community, and also we'll choose one of these questions to put into the magazine. And the last tool is the repair network. So let's assume that you're sitting in Florida somewhere, and you need to have somebody out here in I don't know, California do an install for you because you've got a national account. Well, this doesn't cost you anything to sign up for it, and we're hoping to kind of fill the map fully, so that if there's any dealers out here that you want to place just come up here to join the network. You click here. It's very simple to put in the information. It's just your company name, your contact information, the brands that you carry, that type of information. Pretty easy and form to fill out, and then you'll get yourself a little pin in our map as well. And people can come to you and help with installs, or vice versa. If you've got an install outside of your territory and you have somebody else that you'd like to help, just contact them using this group, or give me an email or a call, and I'll find somebody that might be in and around that area. So with that, that's pretty much it. If anybody has any questions, This is our vendor page, so you can just click on the vendor. Here's all the vendors that support the channel. Got consultants, you got publishers down there, and all you got to do is just click on any one of these logos, and it takes you either to their main page or to the BTA page that tells you a little bit more about that logo.
Hey,
So if
Brian,
anybody,
once you click on BTA events there, and wanted to show you that in 2026, BTA has a couple of member events.
there you go.
Okay. We've got we've kind of revamped our events. You may have seen the name is now BTA Ignite. We have two BTA Ignite events in 2026. The first one, March 20th through 21st in Orlando, Florida. This is previously known as Spring Break. You may have seen that. Just today, we had a BTA Board of Directors call, and I was real excited to hear the continuation of the development of the educational lineup for that event. I think you're going to love it. The other one, Ignite event, is September 1st and 3rd in Kansas City, Missouri. So BTA Ignite Kansas City. That's where Brian and I are today in Kansas City. It's been the association's headquarters city since 1984. However, the association was founded here back in 1926, and so we think it's appropriate that we celebrate our 100-year anniversary coming up next year in Kansas City. So that will be a traditional BTA event in terms of education and networking opportunities and many exhibitors, but we're also going to have a very special evening September 2nd at the Kansas City Union Station, beautiful restored Union Station in the heart of Kansas City, to celebrate the association's 100 years. So if you haven't been to a BTA event lately, or if not at all, they've got a couple of them next year that you ought to be considering. You can see which one is the best proximity or the best timing for you. I will mention that there's a third event next year. It's not really under the Ignite umbrella, but that's the Fall Colors Retreat. That's a remnant event from BTA Southeast that's been going for many years. It's a great event. Asheville is such a cool place. If you haven't been there, Asheville, North Carolina. The plan right now is for that event to take place perhaps every other year. We didn't have one last year because the week we were going to have it, Hurricane Helena did her thing on Asheville, and so we had to cancel. Anyway, we're looking forward to being back. Anyway, just wanted to mention that to you. We are kind of at the end of the half-hour period. I wanted to be mindful of your time. Does anyone have any questions for us at this point, or comments, anything? If not, please feel free to reach out to us at any time. I mentioned my email earlier, and they're very simple. Our first name at bta.org. So Brent at bta.org, Brian at bta.org, etc. So reach out to us at any time. We never lose sight of the fact that we work for you. We are employees of the association, and you are essentially the owners of the association. So whatever we can do to help, we'd be glad to do it. We do know a lot of people just from virtual, having been here for many years. And so if you think we could connect you with somebody or introduce you to somebody or just answer any questions that you might have about the association or the industry, if we don't know the answer, we'll track it down or find somebody who has the answer. So that's a standing offer. Anytime, reach out to us. We'd be glad to help you. So with that, we'll go ahead and end our call for today. And we look forward to seeing you maybe in a future webinar at a future event and one of our Dealers Helping Dealers discussion groups. And again, just reach out to us at any time. So thank you all for your time. We'll see you down the road. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody.